Welcome to this edition of Meet City Hall. I'm Kelly Hunter, and we're glad that you joined us here. On set with me today is Jonathan Lynn. Jonathan, nice to have you here with us.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Your correct title for our city
is Community and Development Services Director.
All right. So Community and Services, Development Services. Tell us what all that entails as you look for your departments.
Yeah, it's a pretty broad range of services that we're able to provide for city employees and city residents as a whole. Our department kind of does everything from building and permitting to inspections, planning, zoning, some GIS, marketing and advertising. Our staff also staffs the conference center and the welcome center, downtown development, and the Main Street program.
Is there anything that's not? No, I'm teasing.
As long as it doesn't involve guns, money, or the golf course, you can probably call us. Or if we can't do it, we'll find somebody that can do it for you. So.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about those departments and how they're located, because you did mention several different areas of service.
Okay.
Where can people find them?
For building and zoning, planning, GIS, and marketing, you can actually find those right here in City Hall.
Okay.
Just come in. We're able to be found pretty easily. There's always someone around. In terms of Welcome Center and downtown development and Main Street, they're going to be actually in the Welcome Center, which is on Broad Street, right on the other side of O'Neill Plaza from City Hall. And Conference Center staff are obviously in the Conference Center, but they have their own staff that runs the day-to-day operations of the Conference Center, from booking to making sure events are set up to even they have authority over the parking garage to make sure it's kept clean.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a good employee base.
We do.
It sounds like a lot of your departments are very customer service and that front line of interface with the general public.
We do. Every single one of our employees and divisions within the department has some sort of interaction with the public. There's no one person that's insulated to where they don't have any interaction with the outside public. Where it can be everything from a client coming in to asking about rezoning to Mr. Smith coming in wanting to add on to his house. Okay. So it just all depends. Or even it could be somebody that would like to locate a business downtown. They just may walk into the Welcome Center randomly on a Tuesday afternoon, and by the next month they could have a game shop open downtown. So
just as recently happened
just
here.
as recently happened last week, yes.
That's right. Well, also tell us then about, you've been on board with us coming up, approaching on a year.
Correct.
What are some of the things that you've seen since you've been on board that have kind of maybe changed, shifted, added new services, anything like that within those departments?
Well, we're getting ready to ramp up a lot of projects. We are in the process of having a firm conduct a downtown hotel feasibility study for us to see if our downtown could support a hotel in what we would consider downtown proper. We do have our hotels out on Thornton Road and over by the mall and some over on Highway 5 in the Walmart area. But we're actually looking to see if we can have one that services downtown, that's actually located right in downtown. Hopefully the study comes back favorable. That's our hope. But if it does not, it will actually give us a roadmap for where to go on that. We are also in the process, the city now has the official title to the Old Mill property. We are in the process of waiting for mayor and council to tell us how they'd like to proceed on that. So that's going to be a big project. Whether it goes this way or that way, there's going to be a lot of good things coming from that. I have noticed since I've been here, there's been a real big uptick in building permits.
Oh, good.
Not just with the downturn in the economy. Every building department was noticing they were getting minor repairs, rehabilitations to homes. They weren't getting a lot of new building permits. Well, the city of Douglasville is very fortunate to not have that problem right now. We have several subdivisions that are underway that kind of went stale when the economy went down. So now they're all coming back
to life.
Back to life. Getting some life into them. We also been very fortunate to have a lot of commercial activity in the city. Probably in the last 12 to 18 months, we have Keurig, McMaster-Carr, Medline expansion. We even have a couple over on Highway 5 that have come in that have relocated. Mecadine is one they relocated from the Cartersville area. So we're pretty proud of that. Douglasville is actually almost marketing itself for these people. That they know that Douglasville is an area that we've tripled in population since 1990. As the westernmost metro city. So we're doing pretty well, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
And that's very good. Another project that has been in the making for, they say, over 30 years, but the Highway 92 project and that transportation.
Oh, wow, yeah. The state of Georgia has been very generous. They're funding the $111 million expansion and relocation of Highway 92. So what that is, if you're coming south on Highway 92 from Paulding County, right around the Brown Street area, where you would turn left on Highway 92 and go towards Jesse Davis Park, Highway 92 is actually going to take that route and come over kind of almost where the old mill site is going to be, and then connect back over to Fairburn Road around the Hospital Drive area. We're still a couple years away from the completion of that. The road will be a 6-lane highway going through there. The engineering of it, which is way past my expertise, one of the final things is they're actually going to build an underpass under the current railroad track. So there will be no railroad problems, no impediments to get through over the railroad tracks like we see now on the current Highway 92, where it goes over at Campbellton. So.
And I think that feature was one of the, or is the biggest selling point for, if you would, because in any construction project, there's that delay, there's that inconvenience.
It is, and we have a very active railroad track.
We do.
I mean, there's, I can't count how many times it comes through a day, but it's not once or twice.
Right.
And also, one of the aspects of that staff is already looking at is how do we make sure we don't ignore these areas where Highway 92 is now going to pass over.
Right.
The Fairburn Road to Campbellton, where a lot of that through traffic would come now. Highway 92 is going to miss that. Now we still have Bankhead Highway 78 coming through there, so we're going to make sure that that area is very vibrant, as well as what's on the north side. That's going to be missed. So there's a lot of potential there for what we can do with that as we go, and staff is already planning that so that once we get to that point in a couple of years, that we're not planning then, we already have something in place by the time we get there.
Being proactive with a vision.
That's correct. Yeah, it's we're in the beginning stages of what we're doing. There's going to be a lot of community engagement, a lot of public involvement that we want, and we want the public to be able to have a stake in what they're going to be able to see there and what they want to go in those areas as this project gets closer and closer to fruition, which if you start looking, it's a lot better than it was 6 months ago, and then 6 months from now, come Christmas time, 2016, it's a lot of activity. It starts out slow, then all of a sudden it just doesn't slow down at all.
Just from a year ago, that whole area, the whole construction site, just major changes.
Right.
Seems like everything has been flowing smoothly though, not too many large inconveniences that have shut anything down, so to speak, but just the normal activity.
Yeah, obviously it's been a weird season weather-wise.
That's true.
In this year in Georgia,
has been wet.
But they make up lost time. They have deadlines they have to meet internally. We actually do not have deadlines they have to meet. They have to meet their deadlines. Contractors have to meet them with the state Department of Transportation, and they're a lot more strenuous in terms of what they do because they're very cyclical in terms of their funds, so they have to spend them.
Right.
So they stay on the contractors pretty well for us. And
so the project's on target, on task.
So far it's on time. It's getting there. It's business is picking up, as they say.
Okay. Well, another thing that I thought I would kind of throw back to is from the with our new administration in force this year. At the retreat, they came up with a list of some major items that the mayor and council want to see taken care of. I think a lot of that list is reflected in your departments.
It is.
Anything that that redirecting or repurposing, or how are you guys addressing that?
Well, it's kind of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But no, it's stuff that we knew was going to come down the pike. Whether it's focusing on certain redevelopment in certain areas, some dilapidated properties that they would like us to look at reusing. Obviously, the old mill site, which that's been a big topic, outside the retreat for the last several years, waiting on the city to get their title to. That we're going to look at some sign ordinance revisions and possibly look at the city and county kind of joining efforts on a sign ordinance to make it more user-friendly just throughout the county and the city as a whole. So that's going to be a big undertaking. We have a lot of planning projects that are going to be coming up this year. Comprehensive Transportation Plan is going to get an update. We're going to look at updating our LCI, our Livable Communities Initiative, through the ARC. We're also getting ready to reapply for our Green Communities grant so we can stay a green community. So we have all that going on at once, but it's going to be a busy and fun year. Okay,
and I think with all of those that you just mentioned, those also will be and should be very community involved.
They will be.
Have public hearings, public meetings, those type things. So we'll be sure to help you publicize those,
Absolutely.
Put that information out here on City TV as well as the city's website. and our social media force throughout the city.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. We have all that going on, plus our normal, conference center bookings. Where I was talking with our conference center director the other day, and they're actually looking at now booking weddings for 2017 because they have no more time
No
to
more
book
space.
them. No more space.
You can only book the days that
you can only book what you have available,
Yeah.
and then they have a blessing of riches over there.
That's great.
They have 30 to 45 events per month at the conference center, and then once you get to quote unquote wedding season, it gets a little more cramped.
Right, and I think while we might not know every event that's taking place there, where it's usually always reflected when you come back from lunch and the
Right.
parking deck is full.
Back from lunch
So-
or the meetings on a Friday morning where you have to park at the top of the parking garage.
There you go.
But that's good for our wellness program.
It is. It's good for our downtown. Those
It's very good.
events that come in for the conference center, typically you're going to find that if they're not hosting through a lunch series, they're going to eat in our downtown
Right.
restaurants. They're going to shop in the stores and the boutiques that are along the front of Front Street
Right.
and in that downtown area. So part of your job with the development of everything is keeping our downtown area a destination point,
Right.
a shopping point, and where people can come and do business.
Yeah, and that's, I'm glad you said that. I'll take a chance to do a little plug. On
Okay.
March 29th, our Downtown Development Authority is partnering with the County Development Authority, and they're hosting an economic development forum at the
Yes,
conference
okay.
center, where that's going to be one of the topics is, redevelopment of downtown, from the old jail site to the Highway 92 relocation to just the general development of downtown Douglasville, to make sure that, we have a plan in place and that we have our vision and we're going to see that through.
Well, and having a vision and a plan, that makes it easier for you, your department, the development authorities to go out and work and recruit the right development that is going to make the vision of the downtown area viable for our
Correct.
future.
Yeah, if what's the old adage, if you're not planning, you're already planning to fail.
All right. Sounds like you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
And,
Well, we like to think we are, but sometimes it's best efforts don't go unnoticed. So we hope that we keep that going.
All right. Well, it sounds like we covered a lot of great ground here. But as a woman, for the women viewers, we always like to know something a little bit personal about
Oh, wow.
the individual. So, as the director of our community and services, downtown services development, tell us something personal about yourself.
Something personal about myself.
What would you like for our viewers to know about?
It's always the hardest
Dr.
question,
Lynn?
kind of like your strengths and weaknesses on in a job
On an
interview.
interview.
Actually, I am a trivia nerd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have the ability to retain knowledge that I have no reason or rhyme to have in the top of my head.
It's just
I'm
a
always
fun
fun on a
fact.
Tuesday night at a restaurant if they have trivia, but that's just one of those weird things that not a lot of people know about me. So I'm a trivia nut.
Well, we may have to start up a new show here on City TV with trivia of downtown, something like that.
That'd be fun, and get the public involved. Maybe get kids from the high school in.
There you go. Well, we could do that.
All right, sounds
Well,
good.
Jonathan, I've enjoyed speaking with you.
My pleasure,
I know
thank
our
you.
viewing audience has gotten to know more about your department. What's the best way people can get in touch with you or someone within your department?
You can always call the main line for the City Hall at 770-920-3000, or you can call me directly, 678-449-3180.
All right.
If it doesn't ring to my office phone, it rings to my cell phone, so just keep those midnight calls to a minimum, please.
Okay, so they'll catch you on the run.
Catch me on the run, yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining
Thank you
us
for
here
having me.
today. All righty. And for you, our viewing audience, thank you for joining us on Meet City Hall. We'll be back next time with another edition.